3, 2, 1.
All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. We are supposedly live on Facebook right now. So if you guys can hear us and see us, comment your location and where you're streaming from, and I'll look at my phone here. Yeah, so it looks like we're live. Yeah. So go ahead and comment your location just to let us know that you can see and hear us. Like I said, we're very excited. We've got a lot to go through. So we're going to kind of go through pretty fast. I have Joel here from Event Office, going to be co-hosting this with me. Say hi, Joel.
Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm excited. You know, it's a funny story. I was planning on doing a digital marketing webinar an hour after Tarek, and I see him advertising on Facebook for it. And I'm like, we're just, digital marketing day. We might as well join forces here and try to put something better together for you guys. So, yeah, I'm Joel, and I've been doing digital marketing for several different businesses that I've owned over the last 15 years now. And so I've learned a few things, mostly by making lots of mistakes. And so hopefully we can pass on some of that knowledge to you. And yeah, hopefully you guys find this valuable. So
Joel's just being humble. I've been working with Joel for the last 2 years now. We met actually at AAPA for Event Office, and I tried their free software, and they got a booking software for event rentals, photo booths, and things like that. And I started off free with them about 2 years ago, and been with them for 2 years. We've grown exponentially, at least 3 times, 300% at least since we started it. So they got great software, great support. What I love about them is when you annoy them with feature requests and things like that, they actually they help you out and they make it happen. So pretty happy with that. And yeah, so pretty cool stuff what they're doing. So let's talk about what we're here to talk about today. Again, go ahead and comment to let us know that that we're live and you could see and hear us. We are going to be covering a lot of stuff. We're going to go kind of fast. Take notes. At the end of this, I'll tell you, we're going to go through a slideshow. I'll tell you guys how to get the slides. We are going to monitor the chat closely. So if you guys have any questions, if you ever see me looking down, I'm kind of watching the comments here. So we can answer some questions you have. So any questions you guys have, go ahead and post them. If you're watching during the replay, post your questions as well, and we'll go over them. We'll definitely comment back with your answers if you have anything come up. Stick around till the end. We got some bonus stuff and cool freebies that we're going to get you guys. We'll mention that at the end. I know this is a lot of intimidating stuff. Joel and I know, it's between Google and Facebook and all these there's all these new rules coming up. It's a lot to go through. So, but if you know the strategy, if you're working with somebody from your industry that knows what they're doing, like us, you'll definitely go places, and it's a lot easier. We're hoping to keep this under an hour. So if we talk too much, do apologize, but definitely a lot of content. You're going to walk out of here knowing everything you need to get started with digital marketing to really market your business and go from there. And again, we are live. If you have any questions, go ahead and post those. And I'm going to just go ahead and get started with the slideshow here. So
Tarek, why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself and what you're doing?
Yeah. You know what? So I'll do that actually here with the slideshow. I got some pictures here of me so you guys can see my pretty face. But
Okay.
Let's see here. All right, so we'll kind of go backwards a little bit. So a little bit about me, right here. Who am I? I'm Tariq. I started my career in healthcare. Actually, I started in radiology, and I worked at a hospital for a little while, and then moved on to teach radiology, and that's what I do right now. I teach at a college. Throughout that time, I started Bounce My House Party Rentals, where we rent out just like all you guys, bounce houses, photo booths, tents, things like that. And it's been good. My wife and I started about 4 years ago, and for the first 3 years, it was pretty touch and go. We did a lot of like my page, share this and share that, networking, trying to get business that way. And it just kind of didn't work. I was never able to actually run my business full time. Last year, I took the digital marketing a lot more serious, started event professional marketing. We did pretty good with that. And now I was finally able to quit my job and I run my business full time. I do still teach at the college. This is something I enjoy. So definitely that's kind of why we're doing this here today. Digital marketing, doing it right. All the big businesses do it. Netflix, Google, Hulu, all these big companies, Disney, this is how they make their money. There's no reason why we can't capitalize on that. There's no reason why we should be knocking on doors and passing out brochures if the other big companies are doing it differently. We definitely want to do like them. So let me start from the beginning here. We're going to be going over everything you need to get started with digital marketing to really dominate your service area. what we're going to be going over is the 5 basic steps to digital marketing success. Pretty much how any business makes money online. Seems pretty basic, but a lot of us kind of do go about it not in the right order. We're going to talk about how to find your ideal client online, how to create high converting ads and landing pages. And then we're also going to talk about some pretty interesting digital marketing trends that are you really need to know to kind of give you a gauge kind of where you need to go with this. And we're going to also talk about some solutions and special offers for you guys on some stuff that can help you with moving forward with your digital marketing. By the end of this, you're going to feel like this guy here on the right. It's going to feel like you got a bunch of water in your face, like jumping in. It's a lot, but I promise it'll make a lot of sense. And that's the whole point of this. We're doing this because we want to make sense to you, and our industry is your industry, and we'll make this work for you. The 5 basic steps any business makes money online or succeeds online is it starts with the client. You find your client, you find out who it is that you want to market to. You expose them to an ad that they can relate to, and then you send them to a landing page that pretty much converts this visitor into a buying customer. You give them something in exchange for their email address, like a quote or an ebook or something like that. That's how most businesses do it. And in our industry, it's usually get a free quote, something like that. And then once you have their email or phone number, you call them, and then you get the sale. So steps 4 and 5 are more sales. What we're going to be talking about is steps 1, 2, and 3. How to find your client, how to create ads that bring them to your landing page, and how to convert those visitors into paying customers.
Now, Terry, you told me the other day that you had grown your business so rapidly using a lot of these techniques that you were trying not to grow as much this year. So why are you trying to focus so much on digital marketing for other clients now?
Yeah, it's interesting. What we noticed is when a lot of our business was coming from Facebook Marketplace. We would post, on Facebook. We'd post stuff on our page and ask people to like and share and things like that. And that's how we were getting a lot of our business. And once I started marketing properly, I noticed that my average sale was going up. A lot of people are cheap on Marketplace, and we got a lot more events. We did a lot less events this year, but they were higher ticket. Our average ticket increased, and it's just we've done a lot larger events. And once I saw that, it made no sense that I could do less work and make more money by just applying these simple techniques. And I would, if you guys, a lot of you guys have seen my, my questions and posts in some of these groups. And, I learned along the way, and I asked some of the bigger companies and some of the, and it seems like it's a trend, you get more respect. You're able to do more once you're playing in the same playing field as these big sharks, and you don't get the bottom of the bucket. I mean, everybody's got a budget. There's those guys that are doing $50 bounce houses and $50 photo booths. We could keep these, these lower end customers for them. But if you really want to grow, you're never going to be able to do full time and quit your day job and do this full time using those techniques. And again, I would just kind of go back and forth with some of these other business owners. And I'm like, well, I started doing this, and this is my experience. And it was incredible to me how many other people were struggling with this. So I started helping one-on-one a couple, and then it just got to be so much where I started event professional marketing. And again, it's just amazing that you could do less work, but higher quality events and just get paid more for it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
So moving on, let's see here. So this is so if you're not sure if you're in the right place here, if this is going to help you, if you have any digital marketing experience or no digital marketing experience, or if you're just frustrated and don't know where to start, this is definitely where you want to be. This is definitely exactly the type of information that you need, especially if you don't have a large budget. That was a big thing. I've worked with some other marketers. They have a minimum budget they want you to stick to. If you don't stick to a minimum budget, they don't really want to work with you. Or even if you already have somebody working with you, one thing I struggled with, I've hired marketers in the past, and they just never really explained to me what they were doing. I could never tell if the leads were coming in from them or from my organic stuff or from my brochures that I'm passing out. You just never know. So you really want, this stuff will help you understand what your marketer is actually doing for you. I started Bounce My House Party Rentals, like I said, about 4 years ago with my wife. And then only recently I started event professional marketing, where I help other business owners within our industry kind of have the same success that I'm having. And some of the services we offer is Google and Facebook ads management. I have the only coaching program around where basically I help you run your own ads, and at the same time, I have courses that you can take, and then I kind of hop in every couple of weeks with you to make sure that you're staying on track. Coaching is huge. A lot of people take courses. Even if you've ever tried to lose weight, you try to do it on your own, it takes a lot longer. When you have a personal trainer and when you're trying to get fit, when you have somebody that's staying on you, keeping you on track, you do a lot better. And I've looked for a program just like that. I mean, I've worked with personal trainers before for other things, and it works so well. So I've looked for personal digital marketing trainers or coaches, and there is no such thing, especially in our industry. So I started the only one, and then I have my own courses for my ad academy, where again, they're premium video courses on demand, where whatever you want to learn. I'll talk about a little more about that in a bit. And then obviously website and landing page design. What this all comes down to is what we all notice is that organic marketing just does not cut it anymore. The old way that we do things, like we said, posting on Facebook to like your page, your post, even if you notice, just from a couple of years ago, would get a lot more likes and comments and shares. And these days, they're just not. And there's obviously the conspiracy out there that Facebook and Google are just not showing your stuff to anybody anymore because they want you to pay for it. While that may be true, at the end of the day, you're competing with a lot more people that are signing up for Facebook and Instagram and Google, and you're also competing with a lot more businesses. And the people that are on there, they're posting pictures of their dinner and things like that. And then you're over here posting pictures of your products. There's just a lot more competition. And there's people that are willing to pay for this attention, like businesses, and you're competing with them as well. So that's what it comes down to. Any business, I mean, they're doing what's right for them. They're going to give priority to people that's paying. And that's what PPC is. Pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is king now. If you're not paying for clicks, you're really not going to. And again, just go ahead and look at your posts that you post on your Facebook and Instagrams. They're not going as far as they did anymore. And Joel's got some pretty interesting statistics about this that he's going to share with us right now that really blow your mind about how things have been changing over the last few years.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. And I just want to say hi to Ralph and Ty. See you guys joining us. And again, if you're watching the recording, you can still leave comments. If you're watching live, we'll try to answer those as we see them pop up. So you can ask away. This first slide is just to show what the average businesses, these are probably more larger business, but where their marketing dollars tend to go. The vast majority are going to AdWords. And after that, Facebook. And then the other ones are a lot smaller on what they're spending. And so you can learn two things from this. One is you can see that they're putting their money where the things are the most important. AdWords and Facebook do well for you. But at the same time, they're also the most expensive. So for example, content marketing, where you're like writing your blog posts and stuff, doesn't cost a whole lot. You're really just paying a writer or spending time doing it. So of course it's not going to cost as much, but it's so you can learn just kind of two things from that. So, all right, go ahead, next slide. Next, we're looking at conversion rates for these different channels. And again, this is why everybody spends their money on AdWords and Facebook, is because they convert better. So again, if your content, your blog content isn't costing you a whole lot, it's okay that it's not converting as well because it's cheaper. But this chart actually surprised me at how well Facebook is converting overall, because as everybody's heard before, AdWords, people are searching for specific things, so they're usually ready to make a decision or farther along in that process. Whereas Facebook, they're not really looking to buy, but your ad pops up while they're just scrolling through the feed. So I think that they've just done a really good job of targeting ads towards customers, and so that's why it's helped with that. So again, these are just kind of general trends. So for our industry, it might be a little bit different. Okay, so organic traffic to blog. So again, this is like if you've got blog content or that you're writing, and so you can see that that's continued to grow. Content is king was what we always heard, and so everybody jumped on that, and there's actually so much information out there now that you really have to focus on making sure your stuff is well done. People aren't going to waste their time reading stuff that's not well written. So anyway, I know in this industry we don't have a lot of people that are writing blog content, so there's an opportunity here for the party and event industry to be able to do some of that stuff. So next, where to publish. So this is just to show you that companies are posting their content all over the place. And so I would have expected by now for some of those things to kind of go down in the amount of social programs and different places to post content, but it's actually gone even higher. So we just, when you can use tools to post your content out to multiple platforms, that would be a good idea. So Again, your own blog is still a popular place people use it. So, all right, go next slide. So this one is what Tariq was talking about earlier, in that Facebook organic reach. So if you were posting on Facebook back in 2012 or earlier, you would have enjoyed your posts being seen by everybody. So if you have your company page and you post something, everybody that was a follower of that page would have seen it, or a lot higher. And today, it's just not true. You posting stuff on your company page, and most of the people that are following you aren't even seeing that content. And so Facebook wants you to pay for them, and so this, is part of their strategy to do that. And so there's all kinds of different techniques and strategies you can use to help get your info in front of your clients. Pay-per-click's the easiest way, but ultimately, the more interaction you can get with it, the more likely it's to be shown. And so, trying to come up with ways to do that. So a lot of times, what you could do is you can post your content, and then you can promote it and share it and do some pay-per-click. And then as it starts to get more engagement and stuff, it'd be more likely to pop up in front of other people as you, to get more interaction. All right, next slide.
And Joel, how would you say, so if I was just starting, or if I've been doing this for a little while and I really want to improve my rankings, how long would it take if I were just like working on blogs and SEO and organic stuff? How long would it take to get to the top of like the search rankings in Google, and really to make it up to the top, versus if we were to do PPC?
Oh, well, I mean, who knows with Google and search engine optimization, it's a continual process. The minimum time it would take would be at least a month or two. But in reality, it's going to take months of effort and continued effort to get there and to stay there. And if you've got tough competition in that area, you may never get there. So one advantage of pay-per-click is that you can get there immediately. And so, it's usually you got to be doing both. When you're starting out, you got to focus on the things that matter most, and then as you expand. And another interesting thing I've learned about digital marketing is I always thought, with digital marketing, you can track every conversion. You know exactly where they come from. And while that's true, it's not really true. So I'm sure you guys have heard before, 50% of marketing money is wasted. You just don't know which 50%. And, I think that's still kind of true with digital marketing. While you can track where your customers and your leads are coming from, marketing tends to be just like an awareness thing, right? The more marketing you do, if people see your company and your brand all over the place, everywhere they go, they see it on Facebook, they see it on Google Ads, they see it on a billboard or whatever other marketing things you're doing, the more likely they are to buy from you. So if you're just doing one thing and they only see you once, that you're still a new company. But if they see you 3 or 4 times in all these different places, even though maybe the Google ad or the Facebook ad didn't actually count as the conversion from them, it's still effective. So it's you can't always just say, my pay-per-click isn't as effective as it should be, so I'm going to cancel it. It still might be more effective than you think. And so it's just tough. Obviously you want to make improvements to it. And so you don't want to waste a bunch of money for ineffective campaigns. So it just takes kind of time. And I always recommend you start with like one campaign, like one thing that you're focusing on, and get it working before you start trying to do 2 or 3 things. So, yeah.
I noticed that too. Like I said, for years, all the work that we did for like 3 years trying to get to the top of the rankings with organic and SEO, and it is important. Overnight, once we started following the proper, PPC guidelines, overnight we went to the top. And it's just really like, it's good and bad, but it's just really frustrating. All this work we've been doing over the last 3 years, and it's cheap. It's not like you got to spend thousands of dollars, a couple bucks per click, and Facebook's even cheaper than that. So that's just really interesting that you spend all this time, and really we're just going down the wrong stream, and all these other big companies, they know what they're doing. We're just playing in a little pond. So yeah, it's pretty great that's out there, and now it's easier than ever to hop on that stuff.
Cool. Yeah, and I talked a lot about blog content, and so I think there's an opportunity. And the tricky thing is that all of you guys tend to be local, and so if you write for example, an article about how to plan the best after prom, right? If you're targeting people that after prom parties, you're going to write stuff that'll appeal to them. So let's say you write a blog article about planning after prom. Well, you don't want to track somebody that's in a different city that you even rent to. So pay-per-click is a way you can use that. You can still write that content, make it really good, and then you can do a Facebook ad that's localized, targeting that content. And so then your customers or your potential customers will see how useful this information was. You want to provide like a book now or get more info, link at the bottom, and that's how you can start to, get more leads. So I want to talk about a few other trends.
And real quick, Joel, a lot of people are just tuning in right now, and they've missed the first 10 or 15 minutes. We really just kind of just introductions. They kind of came in when you started talking about the trends. So you guys didn't really miss much. The replay will be there. The really big juicy stuff is yet to come. So you haven't missed much. So stick around. You don't have to start over. And then we'll kind of summarize some of the stuff as we go.
Cool. Yeah. And again, if you have questions or comments, leave them and we'll try to answer them as we go. So voice search trend. So this is the idea that everybody is using their phones or Alexas or whatever to search Google these days. There's a lot less people that even have computers at home that are searching. And so while we optimize our websites and our ads and everything for the computer that we're sitting there using while we do it, the majority of people are using their phone. And so when you're doing SEO work or you're optimizing your website, you have to make sure you're doing it with the thought that they are searching using their voice. So they might not search for exact phrases. They might search for something like, where can I get a rock wall for this weekend? Where can I get a photo booth for next weekend? And weird phrases that you can target, and they call those long tail keywords. Or, the simplest thing you need to start with is making sure your website looks good on mobile, which is a big thing that people will miss just because they're not thinking about that. So you can go to the next slide. Local search, obviously, again, they're using mobile, and Google has put mobile search first for those. So again, if you've got a mobile site that's different than your desktop site, you need to make sure that you've got it optimized well. It's got the right keywords. I mean, the simplest thing is making sure that you've got your company name, what you do, and where you're at mentioned on your page and in the title. And so again, just making sure you've got those basics covered before you move on to advanced things. You go to the next slide. I already talked about this, but Google has optimized it so that mobile stuff shows up first. And so back to what I was talking about with the blog content, what does your prospect want to know? So if you are targeting after proms, then you can write something that has to do with what they are searching for. They might not search exactly for, should I rent a photo booth or an inflatable for this weekend or for this event? What they might be searching for is, how do I plan it? And so you can write your content or your ads with that in mind. And so, there's lots of ways you can go about it, but hopefully that was helpful. And back to you, Tariq.
And I know that might seem like a lot of information, and you're like, man, where do I start? You really don't have to. And that's one thing I mistakenly did for a while. I would guess like, okay, they're going to search, how to plan this or photo booth rental or bounce house rental. You don't have to do that. There are a lot of free tools. There's paid tools as well that will tell you. Google will actually give you the information. It'll tell you how many people are searching in your area per month. Which keywords, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's even tools that you could put in your competitor's website, and it'll tell you exactly what keywords people are searching. So if you take like your biggest competitor, so that you don't have to start from scratch if you're just starting, you just plug in your biggest competitor's website, and we immediately start using their keywords. We help a lot of our clients do that as well, and that's really, again, what takes you to the top overnight. I did have a question here. Marivelle was asking, what is pay-per-click? It's actually pay-per-click, not pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is just the term that's used for paid marketing. So you pay for each click, pay-per-click. It's just a common term that's used. What's cool about it is, like the term says, you could pay for a billboard, but you really don't know how many people saw it or called your phone number. But when it's pay-per-click, you only pay when people click. So that's why it's very very affordable these days. So you can again, if your ads aren't working, or if you're just not very good at putting out ads, or you're just not getting the right help, you only pay for the clicks that you get. That's not the right mentality to go about it. That if nobody clicks, then I don't pay. Obviously you want somebody to click, but at least that you're not going to pay a bunch of money for no clicks. Moving forward, so this is back to I'm going to go through these first three steps here. finding your client, exposing to ads, and then the landing pages. So where do you find your clients? How do you know where to advertise? Well, right off the bat, we know for a fact Google and Facebook are the two largest advertising platforms out there right now. So I hear a lot of people say Facebook doesn't work. Other people say Google doesn't work. The fact is they both work. You just have to know how to use both and which ones to use them for. For example, Google is intent-based, while Facebook is interest-based. What that means is people go to Google with the intention of making a purchase or finding out some type of information. Usually, in our industry at least, it's very, very profitable because people literally go to Google with their wallets out. They're ready to book. They're ready to book a bounce house or a tent or a photo booth. They're ready to do it. You're just nowhere to be seen on the table. They're just looking for the best offer. That doesn't necessarily mean the cheapest offer. Who's going to give them the best deal or the best value for their buck? And that's what Google's about. So in our industry, you definitely want to start on Google. Facebook is interest-based, where you can target people based on their interests. Facebook knows so much about you. I mean, it's incredible. Anybody in the wedding industry, like if you could target people based if they're engaged, you could target people if they have a birthday coming up, you could target people if they have an anniversary coming up. Those are incredible things you can do on Facebook. And again, you just have to approach each one differently. So it's not that they don't work. You just have to kind of know which products to advertise where. So for example, I do, tents, and then I also do chairs. Where do you think I would advertise my chair rentals? There's not too many people on Facebook. I mean, that's going to be pretty boring. People are on Facebook to do what? Like we said, like Joel says, they're going to see what their friends had for dinner and look at pictures of their pets. They're not going to be interested in chairs, but they literally go to Google searching chairs for rent near me. And again, you don't have to guess this. Google will tell you how many searches there are for this. But if you have a photo booth or a cool bounce house or something like that, you can put videos of that on Facebook, and we know people are already interested because they have an event coming up. So that's when you would use use both. And usually the answer is to use a combination of Google and Facebook. It's just a matter of allocating your budget to both. So what do you do? So now we know we're going to advertise on Google, and I'm going to advertise these things on Google, these things on Facebook. Why is it not working for me? Well, the problem is Google ads and Facebook ads, they have tried to make their experience so easy by just saying, okay, we recommend you do this, we recommend you do that. 90% of the time, those recommendations are in their favor, not necessarily your favor. Perfect example is Google always wants you to put up picture ads or YouTube ads. They just don't work. I mean, they work, but not as well as text ads. Google is all about text. Facebook is all about video. Facebook, people will always post pictures of stuff, and how come nobody's clicking my pictures? How come nobody's clicking my ad? Pictures don't work on Facebook. It's all about video. The reason video works on Facebook is because you can retarget the people that watch a good portion of your video. So if you're just going to put out an ad for, $20 off or something like that, people are going to keep scrolling. But when it's a video and somebody actually stops their scroll and watches, let's say, half of your video or 10 seconds of your video, then keeps scrolling, they don't have to buy. Facebook allows you to sit back and retarget them with an ad the next day or whatever, saying, hey, $20 off of this product. And they're like, oh, wow, I was just watching a video about this yesterday. How'd they know? And that's how you get them. And that's what works really well on Facebook. So again, it's not something you'd think of right off the bat. And Facebook doesn't even recommend that you do that. They don't walk you through that. They just say, hey, put your ad out there, click boost post. And boosting your Facebook posts is really the biggest waste of money, because it's just like throwing out a big net and just getting whatever you can get. There's a lot better ways to advertise on Facebook, getting high focus clients, getting exactly the clients you want. It ends up being cheaper and much more effective. So that's really very important to understand what to do on Google. Google's all about text ads and Facebook is all about video ads. And both of them, in the end, you want to split test. It's never going to work perfectly the first time. You want to keep creating different variations of your ads to see which ones perform better. You got anything on that, Joel?
No, I think that's very good. And a lot of those tools, like the split testing for ads, it's built right in, so you don't have to go to some other product to do it. But yeah, ultimately, you've got to keep trying. I would recommend picking one thing and focusing on that and getting it right. I wasted a lot of money hiring agencies that were just like, let's just pick all the recommended keywords that Google tells me to do, add it to your campaign. And then you're just getting people that aren't actually your potential customers that are clicking on it and costing you money. So it's really important that you pay close attention to your ads. You add negative keywords so people that are looking to buy a bounce house aren't seeing your rent a bounce house ad, and vice versa. And so you want to pay real close attention to that when you're first starting out, so you can make sure you're not wasting your money.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a big problem with hiring. And I've had the same experience. I've hired agencies from outside of our industry, and same thing for Bounce House. I would get house for sale, and it's a lot of stuff like that. Like you said, we're kind of at a disadvantage when it comes to pay per click because most of the courses and agencies out there, most people are selling stuff on the internet where we're renting stuff. So that kind of puts us at a disadvantage where most of the stuff is just not built for us. But if you actually use it right, it ends up being working out in your favor much better because we can only, there's less traffic generally and not as much competition. It ends up being much cheaper. I mean, I've saved a ton of money when I started doing it right, and it's just amazing how you could take advantage of that. But you're right, you really, it just takes that much more work in the beginning to get it to be done right, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Lastly, and this part's really important, landing page optimization. Most people don't understand the difference between a landing page and a website. Basically, think about it like this: if your website is like your online store, right? It's like your storefront online. Your landing page is like your top salesman. Your landing page is what takes website visitors, people just scrolling through your site, and converts them to paying customers. Again, the bad news is most of us don't understand the difference, what we need to do different. They think it's landing page and website is the same thing. The good news is your competitors also don't understand the difference between a landing page and a website. So once you get your landing pages optimized, you will do so much better, and they'll never know why because they'll just look at your ads, whereas it's all about where you're sending them. So what is it that makes a landing page a landing page? What makes it a good landing page? First of all, and this is pretty basic, but a lot of us fail to do this, you want a clear headline about what it is that you do. I can't tell you how many of my clients that I work with, I look at their websites, they have something clever at the top. Like, magical moments for your, or what was one I saw yesterday? We make people laugh, period. This is for a photo booth company. That was their headline. We make people laugh, period. These people want to look at 4 or 5 different ads, compare 4 or 5 different companies. They don't even know if you have what they're looking for. Right at the top, you need to have exactly what it is that you do and make it clear. This is not the time to have something smart, or, you can do that later on. Another thing is one clear call to action. You want to just ask them to do one thing and one thing only. Big mistake is asking to do multiple things, like, give us a call, get a quote, join our mailing list, like us on Facebook. Those are all just distractions. Your landing page is not a candy store. You want to tell them about one thing and one thing only. For us, usually it's get a quote. I've had better luck with get a coupon or get this much off. Just give me your email and phone number, and you get this coupon. And as soon as we have their phone number, then that's when we call them. And when you have them on the phone, it's a lot easier to sell than when they're just on your website, asking them to book now. And when you ask them to book now or get a quote, you're going to ask them for so much information. They're not ready to put in all that information. So that's a big thing there. Front-loaded testimonials. This is a big one. You want to have your reviews at the top of your landing page. You want to have them as high as possible to show people that you got the good stuff, that you've got reviews, that they're in the right place, that other people like them have chosen you and why they should. Your supporting graphics and images and videos, those should also support your call to action. So if you want them to get a coupon for their wedding, don't tell them, oh, well, we also rent out photo booths and we also rent out wedding tents. We also do this. That's all just going to distract them. You want to just keep it clean and simple, one thing and one thing only. And that leads us to my next point. Short forms. You don't want to ask for all the information that you need. You just want just enough information to get a lead going. And that's one thing that I noticed at Event Office. Your software, Joel, just started doing this, where before it used to be you needed all the information. You needed their name, their venue address, their billing address, their start time, end time, what they want to rent, all that stuff just to get a lead. And now your software just makes it so that it goes into your CRM, even if they just put in just some minimal information, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've always had the option to do either, but ultimately we want to make it easy for you guys. If you're using our software, you can make forms that are short, or you can make forms that are long. Obviously, we need certain information to give them an accurate price quote, but you can, if you're just trying to capture leads, contact information, you can make a super short contact type form where you're just asking for their name and their number, or just their email, or whatever you're trying to collect. And like Tariq said, you talk to them on the phone, and then you can gather the rest of that info and close the sale, which is ultimately your goal is to give them something that they find valuable, whether that's a price quote for the event they're looking for, or whether it's something else. But yeah, what Tariq was talking about was absolutely right on. Your ad that they click on has to match the landing page that they're seeing. If there's any disconnect, they click the X and they go to the next site, or they just go back to looking at whatever they were looking at. So it's important that you keep that theme going and that everything looks correct. They don't want to think they're on the wrong page or they clicked something they shouldn't have, because they'll just be gone.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just going through some of these questions. Levon was asking what text ads are on Google. Text ads are just basically just text where it says, the best rentals for your event, something like that. It's just text, because that's what people are expecting from Google. It's not to say the videos are bad, but when people go on Google, I mean, you think about it. When you're on Google and you see those little picture ads on the side, those are spam. That's what you think about, and they're just ads. But when you go right now, it used to be where Google would have just one ad at the top, and then under it would be the top organic one. Now they have up to 4. So even if you're at the top of your organic search, there's 4 ads above you that have paid to be at the top, like $1 or something like that. And they've got a great deal. Get $50 off your bounce house or photo booth. And you're going to go there because you're going to say, wow, and Google gives you full freedom to put whatever you want on there. Whereas with SEO, you're limited and they got to be in your area or whatever. So that's what text ads are. And Sean was asking if your Facebook post is a good video, should you boost it? The problem with boosting, Sean, is that you are boosting. It's like hunting with a grenade, literally. You're throwing a grenade and you just get what you get. When you boost, you don't really pick your audience. They give you little options to kind of do that, but you're not really tailoring your ad to exactly who it is that you want. It's the biggest moneymaker for Facebook because most people, they're so smart. They made it so easy where, hey, we know ads are complicated. We know you're intimidated by ads. How about we just make it one button? You just click a button on your post and we're going to advertise all over the world. That's not how it works. They just show it to random people. And again, they get your money goes quick. And there's a much better, it ends up being so much more expensive than if you were to actually create an ad. And we're going to talk to you guys about some solutions about how you can learn how to create your own ads or work with somebody. And obviously we offer that service as well. Is it smart to combine your personal Facebook page with your business? Honestly, where do you see yourself? What do you want to be, Maribel? Where do you see yourself? Do you want to be one of those big companies, or do you just kind of want to be a side hustle all along? I mean, the big companies, that's not what they do. They have their personal page and then they have their business page. Business page gives you a lot more tools to use, so you don't necessarily have to connect, have to merge them into one. Honestly, those are strategies that people advise you to do when they're just starting from the bottom, right along with lowballing everybody else and giving the best price just to get the account. That's not what you want. That's not the smart way to do it. How do you optimize Google Business to help with? How does optimized Google Business help with SEO? Part of SEO, correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, is they look at how many people come to your site. That's part of your score. The more people come to your site, the higher your SEO score. And when you have paid traffic, that's also traffic that counts for SEO. Am I right about that?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, Google doesn't give you all the details on it. I think that it's mostly like if people are going to your site and staying there for what they searched for, those things would definitely have an effect on it. If people are going to your site and then they're leaving immediately, I think that would negatively affect your search rankings. But I don't know that pay-per-click has a whole lot to do with it.
Okay.
But who's to say? Google doesn't tell us all the info.
Yeah,
So we're just kind of guessing.
They keep their formula secret, but definitely, SEO is important, but unfortunately, again, I know exactly how you're thinking. I thought all about SEO when I first started, and that's all I focused on for years. It is just such a slow and painful way to grow, honestly. And I kind of regret not doing pay-per-click to begin with. The ads, it's just not that much. And if you think about it, the amount of time and the amount of sales that you miss on because you're only focusing on SEO. You focus on SEO because you say, okay, it's free, I don't have to pay anything. But you could have got so many more sales and grown so much faster had you just spent a couple bucks, and it's really well worth it. Another question here, is a landing page like ManyChat? A landing page is just like a website. ManyChat is not a landing page. I know ManyChat is helping you create landing pages. I've seen it, but there's landing page creation softwares on there. We help you create landing pages as well. I think it's like $500 a landing page. They're worth it. I mean, it's a one time you create it's like a sales funnel that you create one time and it just starts cranking out sales. So it is worth it. I have a course that I show you how to create landing pages and how to optimize them using some of these steps. But if you really want it done right, I would have it. A big thing about landing pages is at the end here I mentioned navigation forms. On all my landing pages, I even get rid of the navigation at the top that says all the different services that you offer. It's pretty hard to do with just like a regular website. So on landing page software, they can get really expensive. Like if you buy like Unbounce is a big one. It's like $160 a month for a landing. It's crazy. So So yeah, so there's those out there. With Sean was asking about picking your target audience with boosting posts. You can, but again, it's much, much more limited than if you did an actual ad. And then David was talking about Unbounce. Unbounce is incredibly expensive in my opinion. I don't use Unbounce, but yeah, I mean, I think their package was, I think they have some smaller package, like one landing page, like $60 a month. It doesn't seem to be worth it for me. So let's move on, and then I'll go back to some of the comments here. So how do you bring all this together? This is a lot of information. How do you bring it all together? I have a strategy here that I use for all my clients, and this is what I would recommend you do. And again, as we talked about initially, you can do this yourself. You can hire somebody like me to help you do it. I have courses, I have coaching programs, and I could do it for you. But this is really the basic 7-step strategy to master your digital marketing. Number one, especially in our industry, you want to start with Google. You want to research your product or service on Google to see what potential on there, because people are actively searching for our products. If you are doing some very unique service that nobody searches for, then that's different. But people, most of the time, what we're doing for most of our products, people are actually searching for. And again, there's the data to tell us how many people are searching for this stuff per month. And there's tons of data from years and years ago for your location specifically. So you want to start by researching your product on Google. That's step one. Next, you want to research it on Facebook. You want to go through Facebook's interests and their all their different targeting options, and you want to see, is it possible for me to do well on Facebook? And in our industry, again, anybody you could target. I know off the bat you could target people with anniversaries, birthdays, and people that have weddings coming up. Those three right off the bat, if you do anything with those will get you a long way. And then from there, you want to start creating the Google ads, and then step 4 would be creating Google text ads for step 3, and then step 4, slowly start dabbling with Google video ads. Definitely want to start with Google. Facebook. You start with Google, and then step 4 is to go to start with Facebook video ads, because there is some money to be made out there. And Facebook, don't forget, owns Instagram. A lot of these younger audience are more on Instagram now. So if you're doing anything like photo booths for quinceañeras and birthday parties and weddings for these millennials and things like that, they're getting married now. So they're all on Instagram now. So once you advertise on Facebook, it's as easy as checking a box that says advertise on Instagram too. So there's that potential as well. And then from there, you want to, Google and Facebook will give you a score to tell you how your landing page is doing in their eyes. So from there, you can start to optimize the landing pages based on what Google and Facebook think of them. So I wouldn't necessarily start with the landing page right now. I would kind of first see what Google is saying about them and kind of how your conversion. And most importantly, track conversions. I worked with 3 different marketers that I was paying up to $1,000 a month, and not one of them set up conversion tracking for me. And what conversion tracking is basically, you know exactly which leads, which sales, which phone calls came from your paid ads versus which ones came from your organic stuff. And that is so important. I mean, that really tells you what's your return on investment, how well your ads are doing. Are they making you money or not? That's huge. You want to set that up to make sure. And I do that. That's the first thing I do for all my clients. I want to see, and I want them to see how much money I'm making them. And usually they're very happy with that, because whatever they're paying me or paying for their ads, they're getting 3, 4, 5, up to 10 times back, because it works so well. And then finally, most importantly, is you want to split test. Digital marketing in general is never something you could do one time and then walk away from it and it's going to do great. It's something that you constantly got to go back in, monitor, adjust, split test, and eventually, once it's up and running, you end up spending maybe an hour or 2 a week if you're doing it yourself. But to get to that point, it takes a lot of time, because things change. Seasons change, especially in our industry. You got to start, like right now, I just had to go back in and redo all my ads for, indoor bouncy houses. We have indoor and outdoor options. Here's a list of gyms that'll allow you to bring our bouncy houses, things like that. So it's just in our industry in general, whatever industry you're in, you constantly got to split test and check on your ads and monitor them.
Yeah, absolutely. So this monitoring is important simply because your competitors are changing their strategy too. If they start increasing all of their bids, your stuff will never show up. And so you have to come back and check on yours and make sure it's performing as well as it did in the past. Otherwise, things might not work anymore. Or if you've expanded your delivery area, you want to make sure that your ads you've targeted them for a location, you want to make sure that they're still targeted properly. So like Terry said, you can't just set it once and forget it. You have to come back and review it and check it every once in a while. And back to step 6, track conversions. If you're using Event Office, you can just put your conversion scripts in. So Facebook and Google AdWords provide you those tracking codes. You can just put them into the software, and anyone who comes in through a quote or contact type form or pays will all be tracked through those systems automatically.
Definitely, yeah. John is asking if the name of your service is in your domain. Does that help with your ranking? So, for example, if he does photo booth rental, so if his website is photoboothrental.com, is that enough to help with the rankings? I would say yes and no, and I'll circle back to Joel. But I mean, look at all these big companies, Target and Walmart and Amazon. Their names have nothing to do with what they're doing. It's all about what's on your page. Google knows, that's an easy way out. If it was that easy, we'd all be doing great. Or all the people that bought up all the names already would be doing great. It's all about the content that's on your landing page. Those 5 things that I mentioned, these things, this is what gives you the quality score. You are not the customer of Google and Facebook. You are a representative. You represent them when you put out those ads. So if you're giving their customers, which is the people searching, if you're giving them a good experience, they charge you less because you're giving their customers a good experience. If you don't, then the customer is going to go to a different search platform. So this is what it's all about. Google and Facebook have gotten so smart. They don't care what the name of your domain is. They care about, are people clicking your ad, going to your website, and then hitting the back button right away and clicking on next ad. That means that they didn't have a good experience on your page because your page says photo booth rental in the domain, but then they go there and it's a crappy landing page, and then they're just going to go back out. That's how your quality score decreases. Google, I mean, if it was that easy, it just wouldn't work. So that's to answer your question there. And
hold on one second. So what Tarek was talking about was related to pay-per-click. So you will get an SEO boost if you have the search terms in your domain name when it comes to organic SEO results. Now, if you're starting out, that boost will be very helpful. But after you've been doing it for a while, it probably doesn't matter anymore. So ultimately, if you've got a landing page with the name of your, like, let's say your company, you call it abc.com, it doesn't have anything to do with photo booths. But if you make a landing page called photobooths.html or something, Google notices those too. So that does help. But ultimately, you just got to put the terms that you're wanting them to find you on for search optimization for SEO in the links and in the titles and in the content. But when it comes to pay-per-click, none of that really matters. You just have to make sure that your ad matches the content on your page that customers are seeing.
Definitely. Levon was asking what software you recommend for a product. She's asking if Shopify is a good option. I'm wondering, I guess you're asking about like software. I use Event Office, that's their logo down there. That's where Joel's from. And it's hard to find. I started out using WooCommerce on a WordPress theme, and it just didn't work because, again, we're renting stuff out. And you really have to find a software that understands the needs of the rental business, even if you're like a DJ or something like that. Event Office is what I use, and again, I've been with them for a couple of years. They even have a free plan if you have just a few products. And what's really cool is they'll only take off your product for that block of time, so that you can book multiple events even in one day. Anything else you use, honestly, is just not going to work. You're going to end up spending a lot of time trying to optimize it for your business. And if that's what you're asking about a software, I would definitely recommend looking at Event Office. That's what we've been using. If it works. Do you have anything on that, Joel?
No, yeah, Shopify is made for selling stuff. While you could potentially use it, it's your stuff's going to go out of stock, or you're not going to be tracking availability. If you've got add-ons to your photo booths, our software is made for those sort of things, and so we'll send out automatic emails reminding them about the upcoming event. They can sign their contract with it. Shopify is not going to have anything to do with contracts and follow-up emails for later, and so. It's just specifically made for event rentals. So that's eventoffice.io is the website.
Eventoffice.io. So we're getting some questions here about split testing. Is just basically you just test 2 different ads that are very similar. You just change one thing, or you change it subtly, or you test 2 different pages to see kind of which one. So you tell Google, okay, I have these 2 landing pages. I want to see which one performs better. And it'll send half the traffic here, half the traffic there. And you'd be surprised. Just changing the headline can make a big difference. Or just changing what it says on the button. And there's been a ton of research done. For example, the worst thing you could do is put the word submit on a button. That's apparently doesn't, if you put I want a quote now versus just submit, people are much more likely to get a quote. Sounds crazy to you and me, but it actually works. The data's there. So that's what split testing is. You try 2 different things, maybe 2 different offers. Maybe one you say, get 20% off. Maybe when you say get a free upgrade or a free photo book, something like that. So that's what split testing is. And what Wendy's asking a good question about landing pages. She's confused as to the difference between a landing page and a website, and why you would need both. I guess I'll show you guys here. Do I have the screen, Joel?
Yep.
Okay, so let me show you guys kind of the difference here. This is my website, and my website has had way too many people work on it. It's still a work in progress, but notice how my website it's got a lot of different things on it. Okay, it's like a candy store. I can pick, I could choose. There's a lot of different things going on here. Even if I go to one event type, for example, if I go here to my photo booths, this one is just one I was working on. And if I go here, so this is my open air photo booth. This is one that I have not optimized. This needs some work. So this is my website. I've done some work on it. I have a video, I have a headline, and this needs a lot of work. But notice how on my website, this here is a distraction, okay? I can go, okay, I wonder what else they do. And then I see this, oh, I remember my cousin rented a tent last time. I wonder how much they charge. It just kind of distracts them and gets them somewhere they don't want. I have pricing and things like that. And there's all this stuff here at the bottom. Now compare that to, this is my mirror. I just optimized this one. And I would definitely recommend landing pages for paid traffic, okay? And notice how, this is my magic mirror landing page. Notice how it's much different. Look how there's a lot less distractions. There's not even a navigation. They cannot navigate away from this page if they wanted to. They have no choice but to either click the back button or get my request a quote. And notice how I'm not even asking them for that much. This is even maybe too much information. I'm only asking them for just a couple things, and I'm going to get them, a discount. This is my Black Friday sale, much lower than it needs to be. But I don't want to get hate mail for this. But get $100 off. Hey, if to get $100 off, all I got to do is even just do this here. I don't even got to click anything. It already pre-fills my information and put my date, hit submit. I'm going to do that. And then I have my reviews right here. I have them up high. And again, this is not perfect. I don't get much time these days to work on my stuff because I'm working on other client stuff. But I have a photo gallery and things like that. And again, I have more than one time. If I keep scrolling, I have another call to action here. So it's very clear what I want them to do. There's no confusion. There's no, they can't even, this is where they get a quote and get a discount. There's no, check out our other products. It's clear. It's to the point. Man, I'll get a lot of form fills from this. And as soon as I get their phone number, that's when I call them. I did recently add the phone number because a lot of times they don't answer. There's a lot of spam stuff. But I hope that answers kind of your question as to the difference between a landing page and a website. Again, the website has a lot more distractions. Landing page is just designed to do one thing and one thing only. And it really hones in, especially for paid traffic. You don't want to distract them. You get very, 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 just a few seconds to grab their attention, and you go from there.
Yeah, and ultimately the reason you do this is because hopefully his ad was all about magic mirror photo booths. And so when they come here, they're finding exactly what they were looking for and what you paid to get them to come here for. If you send them right to their homepage, you don't know who's coming there. He might have 10 different ads going on, or people searching all over the place, and maybe it's an employee coming to the site. So there's a whole lots of different purposes for them coming to the homepage. But for this particular ad, you want it to be so focused on what they want that they're much more likely to convert, as opposed to send them right to the homepage. They might not even find the magic mirror thing within 5 seconds. They're like, I'm bored, and they go away. And so you wasted your ad money. So that's why you have something so focused, is you've segmented your audience and your ads so that you're not wasting your money.
And also with a lot of landing page software, you can split test right from the software. So I can change this from saying November special to, let's say, Black Friday special, or I can change this from saying, $100 off to 20% off, and it'll automatically switch it, back and forth from every customer that comes in, and it'll show them different things. It's just been proven to do much better, especially with paid ads. And then don't forget, with paid ads, Google will be ranking you, and so will Facebook. So this way, if it's just one page you have to worry about to make any changes. Like I just had a client, she was sending her all of her customers just to her product page. So if they were looking to rent, she does the trackless train. She's got the trackless trains, and she would just send them to her trackless train page on her website. She was not getting a good ranking. Part of the reason is you have all this other stuff on your website that's not relatable. Even in the header, you got some people have things here about what they do, or in the footer. It's not, it's relatable to your website, but not to the product, not to your ad. And that's one thing to understand. Your landing page needs to only speak to what you have in your advertisement. All these extra words are not what you put in your text ad, or your, it's, if you put magic mirror rental, this is all extra text that Google is going to count against you, that this is not relevant to the magic mirror. It's okay that you definitely want more text, but to a certain extent, you lose a lot of control here with your footer and with your header and with all the other baggage that you have. And it's a lot more focused. And again, it's been proven to work. So your paid traffic, you definitely want to send to a landing page. Again, it's not something I would recommend you start. If you notice in my steps here, it's like step number 5. So it's you want to start with actually getting the traffic. But once you're getting the traffic, your website may be fine. But usually there's a lot more work that can be done, and you'll do better with an actual landing page.
And just so you guys have an idea, years ago when I was doing an email campaign, I was segmenting everybody, and I had them in different categories, and everything was focused on that, like a landing page. And my conversion rate was something like between 10 and 15%. And then when I stopped segmenting and I just started using the grenade and just blast out to everybody, the conversion rate dropped to below 2%. So it can make a big difference.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And I know we've gone a little bit past, so I'm gonna go through this pretty quick here. What it all comes down to: how do you guys make this happen? I mean, I've gotten questions here: is Google Ads worth the money? Should I go into Google Ads? The answer is yes. I mean, it's working for all the big companies. If you want to grow, if you want to do run your company full time, you got to do what the big sharks do. You want to swim with the sharks. You got to do what they're doing. And that's what all the big companies are doing. They're not. How many companies do you see out there, going on Marketplace and doing all this stuff? It's all paid advertising. And again, it's if we could talk more. If you schedule like a one-on-one, we could show you really how affordable it is. But what it all comes down to is time and money. A lot of people will try to do this stuff themselves or just focus on SEO because they want to save money. But in the end, again, you end up spending months with less sales that you could have just taken a very small portion of that money and paid somebody to help you or put it towards paid advertising, and you could have grown so much more. And that time you're not going to get back. I mean, that's the whole point. You want to have your freedom so that you can do the things that you want to do, and you're constantly working in your business or rather than working on it. It's you definitely want to delegate certain things, and marketing is a big one. But what's something I'm big I push on is I want to work with you. I don't want to work for you. I don't want to do your marketing. I want to work hand in hand with you because nobody understands your baby like you do. I can help you, but at the end of the day, if you're not on board, then we won't get far. So this is a pretty great example of what can happen if you like Joel was just saying. If you hunt with a grenade, you're gonna initially spend much less time, okay? And you're going to spend less money initially. You're going to say, hey, I'm just going to do this myself. I'm just going to put out these ads. I'm not going to spend too much time because I really don't know what I'm doing. It's really hard to figure all this stuff out. So I'm just going to click this boost post, or I'm just going to follow Google's recommendations to get all these ads out. You end up getting a lot of clicks, but they're not very effective. They're the wrong clicks. They're not the clicks that are going to actually purchase from you. And in the long run, you end up spending a lot of money on wasted ad spend. Whereas on the right here, if you're hunting with a sniper, you're going to spend more time in the beginning understanding, setting everything up properly. It's much less expensive because you're setting high targeted ads, and it's very, very effective. You get all the clients that you want. You're in full control because you're driving manual. So that's what's huge. And that's the problem that I've had with every other marketer that I've worked with. They'll just say, okay, hey man, I'll tell them, how are we doing? They'll say, well, you're getting a lot of calls, aren't you? You're getting a lot of clicks, aren't you? I say, yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, you really got to understand. That's one thing I teach. I'm a teacher by trade. I work at a college, that's what I do. And I love to teach as I go. And the customer that I don't like working with is the one that just tells me to do it and walk away. I like for you to be involved. So let's talk about some different marketing solutions that are out there. So you can take courses, and here we're going to talk about the amount of money you can expect to invest, the amount of time you can expect to invest, and then how effective these different tactics are. So if you just took a course, there's courses anywhere from $10 to $1,000 courses. And I've spent thousands of dollars on these courses learning this stuff. The problem is they take a lot of time, and they're not made with business owners in mind. I feel like they're made for those like college guys that just want to start an agency and make $1 million overnight. That's even how they advertise them. So I took the courses, I took a lot of notes, but I ended up spending a lot of money, and I ended up taking everything that I learned and creating my own courses. And they just weren't that effective. And then there's standard agency, where if you hire an agency, they'll run your ads for you. You pay anywhere from $700 to $1,200 a month. And again, they don't understand our industry because we're in rentals and they're in sales. And the other thing is, a lot of them have a minimum ad spend, and they get you with that. I was willing to spend, I've spent, like I said, like $1,000 a month. But even before I found them, these guys would not even work with me unless I spent at least $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month on ads. They don't even want to talk to you. They say, how much have you been spending in the last 3 months on ads? That's what they'll ask you. And if you don't have much experience, they don't even want to work with you. They want you to spend a minimum of X amount of money per month. So EPM here is what I do. This is Event Professional Marketing is my company. And I have courses, I have coaching, and I have agency. And the difference between these three is basically just, like I said, the amount of time and money you invest. These are the standard rates that I charge. So for my courses, I charge $50 a month. And I got a special offer for you guys for the first 10 members. We'll talk about that in a sec. You can expect to spend about 3 hours a week on these, but you will still come out having much better results than if you hired an agency. You know, if you were paying somebody $700 a month for $50 a month, you're going to have more knowledge faster because it's industry specific. It's specific to your industry. And a problem that I have is I'm not very patient. And with these courses, one of these courses I took, it was like 70 different lessons, literally. But you couldn't apply what you learned until you finished lesson 70. And by then you had already forgot what you learned in lesson 1. It was terrible. So with my courses, from the first hour, you can start implementing and making money. And then I go back and teach you the more advanced stuff so that you're never left scratching your head and it gets the ball rolling. Because there are some things you're just never going to learn until you start running your ads. For the coaching is my most popular program. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't have the time to invest in all the courses. So they want to take the courses, but it's like, if you're trying to lose weight, it's much easier to have a coach. Or if you're trying to get fit, if you have a personal coach, personal trainer, you do a lot better. And that's what I do. So with the coaching, you have access to the same courses. And then twice a month, we hop on a screen share and I kind of check on your status and I kind of help you build your account. We work hand in hand. It's kind of like a partnership where twice a month I come in and I help you make sure that you're on track, make sure that your ads are getting the best possible. And then obviously I have my own agency where I'll run 100% of the ads for you. That's how you get the best results, but it's obviously the most expensive. And at the same time though, I do report to you every week. We hop on a call every couple of weeks, depending on your time. And I kind of update you on how we're doing and what we could change. And again, like today I was just talking to a client. I can't know some of the things that you do. She's in Canada and I can't really, some certain terms that they use out there, they don't use by me. So I don't know if it's relevant to her or not. So that helps me to kind of work with her one-on-one. So let's talk about some of I have a special offer for you guys here. I'm just starting out with, I can only take so many members. So for the first 10 members that sign up, I'm able to offer these special rates and bonuses here. These discount prices. Again, I'm just one guy. My work is high quality and you're not going to work with a team of other people. You work with me directly. So I can only work with so many people at this rate before having to, it gets to be a lot. And I like my life. I like spending time with my wife and kids. So I can only work with so many, but I'm also so these prices are discounted and I'm also giving some bonuses for the first 10 that do sign up. I'm creating a premium Facebook group where I'm going to be going in live every week to answer your questions. If you join any one of these programs, where we do Q&A every week, where I'll help you, live on Facebook, grow your list and any questions that you have. I'm also doing a free landing page design. Again, on the low end, you're looking at $500 for landing page design. I will build you a free landing page on me, designed specifically for your product and even show you how to build your own. I mean, it's all part of the courses. I have courses for that. And that's something, again, that I can offer for the first 10 members that sign up. And then I also have 2 courses that I'm very proud of, how to turn bad reviews, how to convert bad reviews into sales. And this is true. I mean, I have a strategy where whenever a bad review comes in, I have a strategy, a funnel that I take it through where I end up making more money off my bad reviews than my good reviews. And then how to automate your certificate of insurance request. I know a lot of you guys do the certificate of insurance. It's a pain in the butt for us. We have to get an email from the customer. I got to email it to the insurance and they got to email it back. Then I got to email it to the customer. Then the customer says, can you email it to the venue? It's a big deal. I mean, I have a service. I can show you guys how to automate it all where the customer just fills out a form and it does all the emailing by itself. And then I know a lot of you guys still want to think about this stuff and I'm not sure if I'm ready to sign up or which one I want. Don't wait because I'm being serious. I mean, I can only do so much. So I'm giving you guys this money back guarantee. I can do 30 days for the first 2 and 7 days for the other. So sign up. You have nothing to worry about. I'm going to put the link in the comments here where you guys can do that. I'll do that right now here as soon as I hand it over to Joel. But yeah, I mean, you guys got 7 days or 30 days, however long for each one. If you decide that it's not for you or it's just right now is not the best time, you get your money back. But at least you locked in these lower rates. And it's just not something that you have to do alone. There's a lot going on, and you don't have to make all the same mistakes I made. I've made all the same mistakes, so you can go ahead and learn from my experience. It's just a slow and painful way to grow, to redo all that and reinvent the wheel. If you could piggyback off me and other and other businesses that have done this, then that makes sense. Joel?
Good. Yeah, I obviously Tariq has a lot of experience doing this. He's been doing it for himself for a number of years. This is a great deal. You should get on it while the prices are what they are, and there's nothing to lose. Money back guarantee. You guys want to get on your pay-per-click campaigns and all this stuff sorted out before you get super busy. So now's a great time to get started with it. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
So I'm going to go ahead. Sorry, I'm on my phone here. I'm going to post it in the comments right now, the link where you guys can sign up. If you guys have questions, you can schedule a one-on-one with me so we could talk about, we could do that anyway. I just posted the link where you can go ahead and sign up for any one of these programs. But if you do have questions or you're not sure if it's for you, if you go to eventprofessionalmarketing.com, you can schedule a call with me where we could do a discovery call, and I can go in and kind of see for your exact area what it is that we could do for you. But I do recommend you sign up first, because once those slots fill up, I'm going to be busy with the clients that did sign up. But let me show you guys my ad academy. These are the courses that I have right now. If I click on it, it should take me there. This is my ad academy. I created myadacademy.com, again, for business owners, because I was just so frustrated with the courses that are out there. These are the courses that are available now. I have a Google Ads Masterclass, Facebook Masterclass. These are the bonus lessons I was telling you guys about, landing page optimization. And then I'm also really excited to as soon as I get a chance, I want to create a sales course where a lot of us, I know, for me personally, even the people that I hire, the sales people, they get on the phone, they're just not sure how to sell. So I definitely want to create a course. I've been in sales for a while. So I worked actually at Sears. I sold their warranties. It was a horrible job, but I learned a lot. When I'm on the phone, and I wish I could answer the phone all the time. I sell so much more than when my salespeople sell. So I definitely want to, for next year, I want to create videos on how to actually learn how to sell and how to close the sale with the customer and how to follow up. So that's what I want to work on. And another one is WordPress. I know a lot of us, I don't know if we're building your own website. I build websites. I don't know if it's the best route to do it yourself, but at least making changes yourself, it's worth learning at least how to go in and make little changes. That's another course I want to make, just kind of, so that you don't have to kind of pay somebody on Fiverr or something every time you want a change made. But these are the courses I have right now. I'll show you guys how they are. They're really cool courses. So like in my Google Ads Masterclass here, they're all video courses. They're all on demand. If you go here, so for example, if you go into this, so each one of these is a section. So this one has like 9 different videos in it. You'd start here, you kind of go in order, and it kind of tracks your progress. It shows you kind of how you're doing. There's on the left here, it shows you which courses you're done with. And then I have, let's see here. I have, some of them have like, so keywords, understanding keywords. This is the biggest part of Google Ads and most people don't understand. So this, I not only have I have a video that explains it to you. Oh, it's gonna get loud. I also have materials where you can download cheat sheets and things like that. Let me show you guys some of the cheat sheets I have here. I got a lot of cool stuff that I've worked on over the years here to build up. So once you're logged in, you could see the cheat sheets section. Give it a minute here. I think it's because we're streaming live. It's just struggling, falling.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this later, or you have questions later, you can always just leave them in the comments, and we'll still answer them. So
yeah, definitely.
We kind of ran out of time to answer all the questions, so we'll still get to yours through the comments.
So these are all the cheat sheets that I have as of now. I have negative keyword lists for like we said, like Joel was saying, I already built a list for you so that you don't have to get all those irrelevant searches. You can just plug in this list. I have an ad checklist on basically. There's some crazy things Google wants you to do to get a good score. For example, they want you to capitalize the first letter of each word. I have all that in a checklist here to make sure you do that for each one of those. But yeah, I won't keep you guys much longer. So let's see here. I will go through some of these questions. Okay, so I sent the link to the coaching site from Marivelle. You can see that. The first 10 clients get the discount, or just for today. Whoever enrolls, whoever the first 10 are in each one, I can help. And again, it's just to keep the quality up. I don't want to take on too many clients and then I'm not able to help everybody personally one-on-one. So yeah, I mean, if it's something you're considering, I would definitely, I've made it very affordable. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the other programs that are out there. They're much more expensive. So I've made it very affordable to go ahead and and just start now, and you have that money back guarantee, so you don't have to think twice. And again, if you have any questions along the way, we'll set up a time and talk. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's perfectly all right. And that's pretty much it. You guys were awesome. Thank you very much. If you want these slides, just mention in the comment that you want these slides, and we'll send them over to you. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, so just mention in the slides. I'm not sure how. I'll send you guys a link with all these slides. I know we went a little over our time. I get a little too excited about this stuff. But if there's any other questions you guys have, go ahead and post them right now. Marival is asking if you could sign up for 1 month only. It's month to month. There's no contract. I'm not going to tell you into any kind of contract. I don't think that that's what's best. I think you definitely, it takes time to build up this stuff. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So, but yeah, I mean, there's no contract. Anytime you want to cancel, you can go ahead and do that. See what other questions are here we missed. All right, so if you guys think of any questions, you can come back to the same video and post them, and then we'll come back and answer them in the comments. And thank you guys so much. This was awesome. Sorry for going a little over time, but yeah, this is what we do. This is what we're passionate about. We love doing this stuff. We love helping you guys out. And anything that, if you guys have any questions, I see some people are booking already. Appreciate that. I'll stop this share here. Any other questions you guys think of, or anything else we can help with, then definitely check us out. You have my website, eventprofessionalmarketing.com. And if you're looking for the booking software, is it eventoffice.io?
Yep.
Eventoffice.io is their booking software. I mean, again, it's free, so it's worth trying out. It's free to try it, so you don't lose anything. But that's it, man. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you guys have a great holiday season, and we will see you soon.
All right. Thanks.